Hi everyone, Coldam here with another VOX Immortalis commentary guide. This video is for the normal difficulty of Festergut and Icecrown Citadel. To begin, the raid setup is simple. You'll need 2 tanks, 2 to 3 healers depending on your comfort level with the damage, and of course the rest DPS. When you start the fight, you'll notice the room fills up with this orange gas, and this is a constant raid-wide tick of shadow damage called Gaseous Blight. So if you have Shadow Resist Aura or Resistance from a Priest, that'll help a lot. The next thing is Inhale Blight, which is something Festergut casts on himself, and it gives him, there he goes right there, it gives him a buff that increases his damage and attack speed by 30% per stack, and this can stack up to 3 times maximum. So it's important that your healers and your tanks communicate when this gets 2 and especially to 3 stacks. Tank damage can spike significantly and they need a lot of heals. The next thing is Gas Spore. This is randomly cast on 2 random raid members, and it causes a little orange spore to appear above their heads. If you look in the center, you can kind of see one behind Festergut right now. And that player, after 12 seconds, will explode in 8-yard radius around them, and any other players caught within that 8 yards will take a pretty hefty shadow dot, but more importantly, they'll also get a debuff called Inoculated. This Inoculated reduces the shadow damage that player takes by 25%, and this can stack up to 3 times. And it's important everyone in the raid tries to get 3 stacks of this, and I'll tell you why in a moment. To do that, because there's 2 gas spores every time gas spores cast, you'll want 2 basic positions for people to stack up. The first position should be one player goes underneath Festergut's feet, and this will cause the 8-yard AE to hit all the tanks in melee. The second gas spore person stacks up on one designated spot with all the ranged DPS and healers, and that will hit everyone outside as well. So the reason you need 3 stacks of Inoculated is to survive Pungent Blight, which Festergut will cast in a moment here. When he's at 3 stacks, there he goes. When he's at 3 stacks of Inhaled Blight, the next time he would have cast Inhaled Blight, instead he casts that Pungent Blight. And this just causes him to release all the gas that he's inhaled basically back into the room, and it deals a heavy, around 44,000 damage Shadow AE to all raid members. So if you don't have 3 stacks of Inoculated for 75% reduction, it's pretty hefty damage, and you may not survive it. All immunities that would normally work on stuff also works on Pungent Blight. So like mages and paladins, if they want to avoid having to stack up with people to get inoculation, they can do that and just immune the Pungent Blight effect. The next thing is, if you notice, our ranged and healers are spread out in a semicircle around the room, and this is because of Vile Gas, which he randomly casts on a ranged player, someone outside of melee. You need at least 4 valid targets for this, so if you have 2 healers and 2 range, they need to be spread out. And this just causes that Vile Gas target to take dot damage for 6 seconds and get stunned for a while. It also has a short 8-yard range for AE, so everyone should be spread out at least 8 yards if they're a ranged player. The last thing is tank only. It's called Gastric Bloat, and every 10 seconds the current tank will get a buff that increases their damage by 10%. But if this stack reaches 10 total, it will cause the tank to explode and basically one-shot everyone in the raid. So it's important that one tank reaches 9 stacks, and then the other tank quickly taunts and repeats the process back and forth. That's it. Thanks for watching.